The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN headquarters in St. Petersburg, Florida. 8:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, 60 minutes to go until that opening bell. And we had volatility overnight. We were dramatically higher, and we're off the highs in the S&P by a solid almost 90 S&P points from where we were trading at between about 3 and 4 in the morning. Right now, S&P futures negative 18, trading at 24.19. Nasdaq negative by 45, trading at 75.09. Dow futures positive by 53, 20,661. We'll start things off. Let's jump over to the charts, and we'll start it off with the indices. There's your Dow. So we were up at a high of 21,411. You're talking about almost 800 Dow points. We go from 21,400 down to 20,432 at 7 this morning. I mean, that is a remarkable move. We were higher overnight, pulling back from 5 a.m. till 7 a.m. Nasdaq 100, pretty similar story. 74.81 right now, but we were as high as 77.56, almost 300 points higher than the Nasdaq 100. S&Ps, as I mentioned, almost 90 points. We're at 24.11. The high, 24.97, I believe. Yes, 24.97. You're talking about 86 S&P points. These charts are just such big moves that they almost dwarf when we move almost 100 points in the span of 2 hours. Crude oil was above, was it? Above $25 briefly at about 9:45 p.m. Is that 9:40? Yes, 9:45 p.m. last night. Crude trading lower, now under 24, 23.37. Gold contract, quite a day yesterday for gold. Early in the morning yesterday, up to 16.95. Almost got back right up to that level at 16.98 at 7:45. And then from there, we've trailed off about $60, 16.33 in the price of gold. And the euro-US dollar at 108.09. In terms of what else you have happening in the market, we're getting some earnings, and Target, pretty good numbers. The Target CEO withdraws the forecast. None of us know how long this virus is going to last. And as we get that, I love doing the program at about 8:30. Boy, tomorrow, we're going to get quite a number in the jobless claims number tomorrow at 8:30. Right now, we're getting the durable goods orders. So durable goods rising 1.2% in February. They were looking for a 0.8% drop. Not sure that's going to have a huge impact on the market when the real information is going to be what's happening in the month or 2 or 3 to come. Target CEO, so they withdraw their forecast. They come out with their numbers. Let's get into it if they have the numbers down here. I believe they do. Should have had it pulled up. But Target this morning, so good numbers. And let's see if they have it on the Thinkorswim platform. Not yet. Withdrawing the forecast, 99.75, that they withdraw that forecast. Maybe it was Nike, I believe, who had their numbers then. So sales beat analysts. Maybe Target just pulled their forecast. I don't know why you would not pull your forecast right now as a company, a big company. There's almost no penalty in the market for pulling your forecast because everyone understands that, of course, you're pulling your forecast. And then you just get to potentially overperform a lower expectation as a result, instead of trying to peg this in type of analyzing your forecast going forward in this type of environment. But Nike sales beat estimates, but the earnings fall, hurt by the coronavirus pandemic. Let's get into their numbers. So Nike sales dropped 5% in Greater China following 22 consecutive quarters of double-digit growth. The shares shot up 9% in pre-market trading. Let's jump over to Nike shares this morning. It's quite a different world of earnings when you have this type of an impact. But Nike up over 80 at one point, $79. That's up almost 10%. A little bit of a longer time frame. Nike, one of the first companies that was really started to get hit, we'll put it on a year daily, because of their impact in China, February 21st even. You traded from 105 down to almost the low there, 95, so $10 lower. That is towards the end of January as things began in China. And that's when they realized that at least in China, where Nike is a huge seller, and of course what they make, but Nike from 105 to 60, now going to open at about $79 on their earnings. And again, jumping back to Target on that news, putting it on a shorter time frame because we're going to open at about $100. So no real reaction to, of course, they're pulling it. They had just revised their forecast 3 weeks ago, Target had. and already they have to say we're not sure where we're going from here. Boeing plans to restart the 737 MAX production by May. So Boeing, quite the rebound off the lows they've had. The president, I believe it was 2 days ago, in one of his task force press conferences, maybe, talking up Boeing. After hours, those shares trading higher from quite a low. So regulators clearing the 737 MAX to return to service, a milestone Boeing still expects to reach in mid-2020. The planning hinges on the scale of disruptions from the fast-spreading coronavirus. So they ceased production of the jet in January as it struggled to win regulatory approval and accrued a backlog of 400 undelivered jets. So they have 400 undelivered jets. They're hoping to start producing them again in the middle of 2020. And with all that in mind, they're coming to Congress for tens of billions of dollars potentially, right? Or for a bailout, or billions of dollars at least. But check out that run from Monday. You go into the action. I believe the press conference was the end of Monday as well. So that was Monday evening. Yeah, Monday evening was the night. And you saw it trade Monday evening after going and closing at about 106. You opened Tuesday at 120. And check out that run overnight, even from 130 to 148. 153 from 90 to 153. That's 60. That's 70%, 60% off the low. But longer term, Boeing, I mean, devastating. From 350, and that was already after the 737 MAX, down to 89, down to 127. Other news out there, jumping over to the raw numbers. Pretty stark. Total confirmed cases, 435,000 now. Deaths, 19,006. The Italy numbers staggering in terms of under 70,000 confirmed, 69,000. But you're looking at basically a 10% mortality, 6,820, as they struggle over there. New York really struggling in this country. The epicenter, total confirmed 55,000, total deaths 802. Hopefully no New York, the largest of that so far, as the headlines pretty stark coming out of there. The Fed's James Bullard, so he's out there this morning saying after a short-term unparalleled shock, economy will boom, the U.S. economy, facing a huge shock to the system over the near term, then will bounce back stronger right after. Bullard spoke to CNBC, so that was on Squawk Box. He's out there this morning, a Fed chairman. And in terms of other articles, there's what I was looking for. Bill Ackman exits market hedges using $2 billion he made to buy more stocks, including Hilton. So that story just coming out when I was getting ready for the program. Ackman buying into more stocks, investing, including Hilton. Hilton shares. Let's see if we have any action. I believe it's HL, is it? Hilton Worldwide. HLT, maybe? Yeah, it's going to be up a bit this morning. No real reaction. Maybe that was the spike from under 70 to a 1.7650. 4 a.m., 71.50, up a bit this morning for Hilton shares. And business doesn't stop completely. How about the Clippers owner Ballmer buying the Forum for $400 million in cash? With the purchase, Ballmer also clears himself of legal battles with the MSG, the company led by fellow National Basketball Association owner James Dolan. So Ballmer buying the Forum for $400 million. Not bad. Stay tuned, folks. We come back going over what else we have on tap for Wednesday trading. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, everybody. Markets in negative territory right now. Checking in on where we have the markets. We got the S&Ps negative by about 31 points, trading at 2406. Dow futures positive by 32 right now. Waiting for that refresh. 20,640. S&P negative, we said. Nasdaq negative by 73 points, about 1%. Market oscillating around in both directions overnight. Jumping over to other news stories out there that we have going on. An update in terms of Prince Charles, unfortunately, testing positive as the number of named celebrities and the whatnot come out as testing positive themselves. Keeping things in perspective, pretty remarkable for the Dow yesterday. 2,100 points, over 11% in the positive. The S&Ps were up 9.4% on the day. We were up 1 to 2% on top of that after hours last night before now going into the market almost borderline negative across the board. Dow hanging on to some gains. That having to do with Boeing a lot. But in terms of the largest percentage gains, even percentage, only beat by 1930s. Anything after that in terms of the 30s, a biggest percentage day in the Dow. And again, Boeing up a huge, anytime you have a component like Boeing that was trading at about 100, now you're trading at about 150, 160, adding just huge prices to the Dow itself. But remarkable moves. You see the 2008 prices in October 13th and October 28th under 2020. So last night at about 1 a.m., the details came out. The White House and the Senate strike a deal. That's the market acceleration you got yesterday. Looking for that news, and you get it last night at about 1 a.m. White House and Senate leaders reached a deal early Wednesday, as I said, about 1 a.m. last night, on a massive $2 trillion stimulus bill to combat the economic impact of the coronavirus outbreak. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said the Senate will vote and pass the legislation later today. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called it the largest rescue package in American history. Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, agreed to enhanced oversight of the $500 billion bailout fund that Democrats had criticized. So there's going to be some type of congressional oversight to that money going to companies. $2 trillion seems to be a good number. The market liked it yesterday. We'll see if we can hold on to things today. And at last, we have a deal, 1:51 a.m. last night, that news coming out. And let's see where we were at about 1:51 or 1 a.m. There's your S&Ps. There's your yesterday action, 4:30 a.m. So there's your 1 a.m. The market was about 24.18. You see the acceleration. We finally get the news, right, between about midnight there's probably the news when it may have broken first, as you jump at 11:45 from almost 23.86, and you're at 24.40 in a heartbeat. You just shy by a few points. The high there, 24.97.75. So 2.25 S&P. Nope, there's 24.98 exactly. Two S&P points above below 2,500, and then the market proceeds to trade down. What's the low there? 23.87. So you're talking about 100 S&P points in the span of a heartbeat, and the low actually, no, it's going to be lower. Yeah, 23.87. So 110 S&P points by 6:30 in the morning, and then we're up a bit from that price level. Some of the companies, winners and losers, jumping over to news. Amazon has held off pretty well, so down 11% since the market peaked on February 19th. S&P down much more than that. Other top tech companies have each dropped at least 20%. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Alphabet, or Facebook. Amazon shares, because this is an interesting one. The high there, well, that's 1996, but the high, 21.85. That high reached February 11th. You see the low of 16.26. You're going to open today at about 19.32. We closed yesterday at 19.40. The recent high, 21.85. Everyone I know in the world is ordering Amazon. You jump over to Walmart. Walmart, the recent high, that high made March 18th. Now we're going to open at 113. That high was 128. The market pulling back a bit. Target, a little bit of news this morning, but not really affecting the stock in terms of just pulling their guidance. Going to open at about 100. But Target, you're going back to December of 130.24. We'll see how that shakes out. I mean, the likes of Netflix, an interesting case study. 393, the high March 3rd. You actually tank all the way down to March 17th, a low of 290, and then we're back up to 370 yesterday. We're going to open at about 357. Disney with some volatility. We're going to open at around 100. Disney was at 153 in November. We were at 140, what is the high there? 147 on February 5th, and Disney trades down to 79. We're going to open up at about 100. And the ride-sharing companies, along with those airlines, travel, whatnot, Uber, going to open at about $26. Remarkable that we're now 100% above that 1371 low. That is the day that they came out and said, hey, we're going to have $6 billion if this is bad, probably, and we're going to have $4 billion if this is really bad, worst-case scenario, plus a $2 billion line of credit. And the market loved that news. We traded up to $20 on that day. We're still up 30% from almost 20 at $26.39 in Uber. Lyft, even though Lyft hasn't really come out and said the same thing, $14.56 was the low. They've almost doubled their share price as well at $27.06. Some of the cannabis stocks out there. Canopy Growth, $12.98, going to open just above $13. It looks like this morning. That's off the low of $9. They had come out and talked about more people ordering cannabis, whether it was staying at home, purchasing that, maybe just taking it easy at home. Jumping over to ACB, Aurora, that one really in trouble. Kronos was what I wanted. Yeah, 547, that's a tough one. Now, a company like Constellation actually, ironically, has the Corona brand of beer, along with a plethora of other things, including an investment in Canopy, from over 200 to 104 to 123. The volatility in these is just remarkable. Peloton, so a company, they just go public. Tough woes in terms of their chart. We'll pull it up in a moment. But one of their top investors sold 100 million shares, $100 million worth of shares, as they surged over the past week as the U.S. fitness startup stock gained about 17%. So you have a company like Peloton, I believe it's PTON. And yeah, so this is only going back, to when they went public in September. You see the run up to 37, and even in the last couple weeks from 17, I guess. Yeah, this is on a weekly, from 17 to 24. And let's see the action early today. Yeah, interesting. Is that their symbol? Let's make sure it is. Piton? Yeah, Piton, so 24.57. I would be wary of that company. I talked about it before. It's basically a stationary bike with a tablet attached to it, and you're talking about thousands of dollars, and then you have to pay a subscription fee to own that. That's a very competitive selling, exercise equipment business model, and we were just at $37. So I guess they just got out of Dodge after this thing was down at 1770 maybe, choosing to get out around this area where it's only been at 37. It was at this same price in November, so maybe that's their exit point. Some other stocks, going over some of the stocks in the news. So we covered Nike, quarterly profit of 78 cents a share. They beat the consensus of 59 cents a share. Revenue exceeded the forecast. And the apparel maker said business rebounded in China following the outbreak. So Nike shares, we went over, but it's worth reiterating because Nike, hopefully an indication of how things go. We're going to open at about $80 on Nike. And there's your pop. I mean, look at these moves we're getting from 60 to 80. That's a 33% move in Nike. If you had bought at those lows, a company like Nike making 33% on the company within a week. Crazy.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionics, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Right now, we've got the S&P negative by about 25. We've got Dow negative by about 78 points. Checking back in on the stocks making moves and news stories today. Facebook coming out said their usage of its platform has surged during the virus outbreak, one benefit of the unfortunate scenario that we find ourselves in, but added that it's also seeing a weakening of its ad sales business. I can't imagine most companies, if you're out there, you're advertising, you're not even really doing business. If you have the ability to just cut off that advertising stream to cut your costs, I can't imagine that's not an easy way if you're just paring back, especially if you're cutting your business. a company like business dealing with a lot of small businesses, stuff like that, you could see a momentary, hopefully, pause in that. Kraft Heinz upgraded to an overweight from neutral at JP Morgan, which said that packaged food companies with higher levels of debt will benefit from the virus-related surge in business. So it's KHC is Kraft Heinz. And you think maybe everybody's stocking up on some Kraft Heinz. Going to open at about 23.06, so 22.99 yesterday, going from basically a close on Monday of 21 up to almost 23. Quite a move, 1961. A little bit of a longer-term chart, though. Check out that drop from $32, was up at $33 back in April. Quite a struggle for Kraft Heinz there, but an upgrade nonetheless. Occidental Petroleum, Oxy, announced employee salary cuts of up to 30%, according to an internal memo seen by Reuters. The CEO will take an 81% pay cut. The oil producer is trying to conserve cash during a period of tumbling oil prices. Oxy, they really got slammed that day that oil traded from 32 to 24 or whatever it was over that weekend when the Saudis started the price war. But look at that chart. Just going back a year, 68 to single digits, 9, 1072. Boy, they better get their house in order because that is quite a chart. Let's put this even a little bit longer time frame. These oil markets, 3-year weekly from $87. And you know what? We'll wrap it up with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, a little bit of volatility, almost made it to 7,000 this morning, 69.95. Stay tuned, folks. Larry Pezzavento live at 9. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with Tom. We have oil numbers at 10:30 today as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Larry Pezzavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering